Thank you. All right, stop. Roll, Tide, roll. All right, stop. Here we are, the Uncle Henry Internet Show, a special afternoon as we do two shows. We're doing this one right here is the Iron Bowl Tailgate Show. And I was excited about doing this show up until just a few days ago when we got the news that Coach Saban had been done reinfected with COVID. Why wasn't anybody protecting him? All right, I don't want to go any further on my recriminations on the staff there in Tuscaloosa. I do hope heads will roll for not protecting Coach Saban, our most precious asset in the state. Now, we're going to move forward with lots of predictions on the game. We'll hear from a lot of people on today's program, including classic super fan Pee Wee from Grand Bay will be calling in, and other predictions. First, we want to break down the game for you. Alabama, a big favorite. You see the line there, 24.5 points. The over-under, 62.5 points. Now, the money line. Johnny Gwynn, I'm not a degenerate gambler, so I don't understand the money line. It's against my religion. Could you explain why this is an amazing money line?
Money line is Auburn is such an underdog that if you bet $100 and they win outright, you win $850. Now, on the flop side, Bama is such a favorite. You have to put up $100, and if they win, you have to put up $1,667, and you only win $100. So not exactly. That's a that's a lot of gamble for that. So this is probably the biggest point spread I've ever seen in my life.
All right, so this was done for educational purposes.
That's right.
We don't want any of you degenerates using that information before the game. Alabama, of course, leads the series, and we pray that they always will. Now, the weather, the game time weather, will be just beautiful for football, 65 degrees with humidity in the 50 percentile. Too bad there's not a lot of tailgating going on up in Tuscaloosa. Now, this Iron Bowl show, we do want to thank the people that make the show possible. We have so many associate executive producers that have donated money. We don't have time to go through all of them, but thank you. We do want to thank our big donors, the executive producers, Rob Holpert. Thank you, Rob. LD, the Mad Trucker. Bridget Jerkins of Royal Street Barbers. Thank you, Bridget. Doug Faust. Thank you, Doug, for your donations. Leah Brown. Dorothy Clayton, Cheryl Gwynn, thank you. Bama Big Man, Mrs. Bama Big Man, thank you for your donations. Wendy Lynn Norris, G.I. Jane, Aunt Karen Simmons. Thank you to Aunt Karen Simmons so much. You can donate. We'd like to keep doing these shows into 2021. That won't happen unless we get donations. Go to PayPal. Look for Deep Fried Live on PayPal to make your donations, or go to Venmo.com and look for Deep Fried Live on Venmo.com. That's how you donate. Or you can use your phone and scan this. I don't understand the technology, but that's there for you if you understand how to use that technology. So, the Iron Bowl. Wait, just want to say, after this show, after the Iron Bowl, we'll be back on Facebook and YouTube and Twitch and Twitter doing a post-game show. During the post-game call-in show, we will have what's in the Lanyap mystery box. We're not doing it this hour, thank the Lord, but thank you to Lanyap for sponsoring that part of the program. The post-game call-in show will be immediately after the game live, so be ready to call in as sober as you can be for that program. Now, the Iron Bowl Tailgate Show. We're having people make their predictions. We'll be hearing from Pee Wee from Grand Bay here in just a few minutes. Before we get to that, I've come up with some ways I think we could improve the Iron Bowl. I've been to a few of them. I know that you've been to a few of them. And I think that these suggestions would really improve the Iron Bowl for all of us here in the state of Alabama. Number one, no Alabama and Auburn fans seated directly next to each other in the stadium. I can't tell you how annoying it's been to go to Iron Bowls and sit next to an Auburn fan. No offense to Auburn fans, but how did that happen? How did that happen? That I've paid for the tickets and I'm here for an emotional experience and I've got to sit right next to an Auburn fan?
Better than an LSU fan.
Big Al and Albee, cage fight before the game. We'd love to see that. That'd be a lot of fun. And nobody would get hurt because they're wearing padding. Senator Tuberville must ask President Trump to live tweet his reaction to key plays of the game. We'd all love that. Put large replicas of the Saban statue in each of the end zones at Bryant-Denny Stadium. I think this would be a wonderful thing to see that statue at every scoring opportunity. CBS must put a camera crew in Saban's house to give us Saban health updates after every change of possession. We just want to know, how is he? Also, Senator Tuberville must keep his thumb hidden at all times. Referees, umpires, all game officials must be drug tested before the game and publish their email and home addresses so they can get our honest feedback. They should get feedback. Marching bands at halftime only play Leonard Skinner and Randy Owens Alabama songs. And no matter who wins, Senator Tuberville must give a flowery victory speech on behalf of the winner during the official Senate proceedings in Washington. If you're going to have a football coach as a senator, we need benefits. Losing team must spend the night in nearby Moundville, Alabama. And if you've ever wondered what's in Moundville, you got a bunch of mounds. All right, now, the Iron Bowl tailgate show moving forward. Make your prediction. Now, do we want to go to... Oh, it's not the caller we thought. All right, we'll go to the mystery caller. Hello, caller, are you there?
Hello?
Hello? Can you hear me, caller? Can you hear me, caller? Oh, we have to reset the phones. All right, so, hey, it's just like a Friday night. All right, so before we go any further, do you want to get into prediction video? All right, we will get into prediction videos. We have Shelby Mitchell and Bill Black of 95 KSJ offering their predictions on the Iron Bowl.
I thought we would be sharper in the daylight other than the nighttime, but obviously we are. Some pregame.
Hey, look, this is an experiment.
It's pregame jitters.
It's an experiment. Saban has COVID and it's thrown us all off.
Ready? Here we go.
Yes.
As an Alabama fan, of course I'm going to pull for Alabama and I'm going to predict that they're going to win. I'm going to say, let's see, I'm going to say, this pumpkin is orange. I'm going to say that.
We're not talking about Tennessee here.
Hush, Bama is going to win 63-3. That's my prediction.
Jeez.
Could happen. Could happen.
It
Roll,
could.
Tide, freaking roll.
Next one.
Hello, Uncle Henry. I know you're excited about the Iron Bowl. I, as an Auburn fan, also very excited about the Iron Bowl. I don't have great hopes for this year. I just don't think we can compete with the machine that is Alabama this year. But I hope that my team fights hard and keeps it close in Tuscaloosa, and we find a way to only lose by 10 or less points. That's what I'm hoping and praying for. But if we find a way, somehow, the gods smile down on the Auburn Tigers and we win, it could happen. Listen, people, it could happen. And I can't wait to see you after the game. But War Eagle.
All right, Bill Black of 95 KSJ. He looks a lot better on video than he does in person. All right, now do we have the caller? Has Pee Wee called in for us?
Hello, Uncle Henry.
Oh.
Okay, so as
one of our container boys is out. So
Yes.
we're understaffed. Hello,
Can you hear
caller.
me now?
Yes,
Yes.
I can.
Hey, well, it's Pee Wee. I finally got everything.
Pee
through.
Wee! Hey,
Pee-wee. Pee-wee from Grand Bay. Pee-wee, it's an honor to have a super fan such as yourself who has a close personal relationship with Nick Saban actually calling in to the show. Now, first, what's your prediction on Nick Saban's battle with COVID?
Well, considering that this is the guy that had a hip replacement surgery and was back at work in 2 days, I figure, give it 4 or 5 days tops.
Okay, good. All right, no, so Pee-wee, you watch the Tide more closely than most other fans. You really school yourself on the ways of the Tide. What do you think is going to happen in this Iron Bowl?
Well, the first thing is that, number one, this is the Auburn game. All right, so a lot of times during this game, we kill ourselves with penalties, turnovers, and things such as that. It's all mental mistakes. So if we can eliminate those and not having, just like the 2 pick sixes from last year, all right, if we don't have those, we can play solid. We have to control the line of scrimmage. That's the given. If we can run the ball consistently on them, I think they may be in trouble. Because if we can bring a safety up and get some one-on-one coverage on the outside, give Mac a little bit of time. We got to give Mac some time. And then I think that we got a very good chance of winning this game.
Well, Pee-wee, the Tide has been scoring just unbelievable amounts of points this season. Should we expect the same offensive show in this game?
If we can execute correctly, I think that's exactly what would happen. Again, if the offensive line can give Mac Jones a little bit of time to give our receivers a chance to uncover themselves, then, yeah, I think that's a very good possibility.
That's good. All right, Pee-wee, you've already made me feel encouraged. Pee-wee, what do you think the whole fact that Saban's not going to be there? What do you think about that?
Well, there's been a lot of discussion about that. To me, the biggest thing that's going to be about him not being there is going to be in the locker room at halftime. His input on the adjustments that need to be made and the input that he has for his, we'll use quotation marks, of pep talk. That to me is going to be the biggest factor. Now he coaches on, as everybody knows, he coaches on the sidelines and all that. But I think the biggest thing is that's where that's going to be at. Our defensive coordinator is going to have to earn his money today. As we all know, Gus Malzahn and them, they're very good about throwing out all kind of trickery plays, trying to get you to take the eye candy and not being able to track the ball. So, they're going to make a run at this on their first possession. They always do. It's whether we are disciplined enough on the back end to cover your man and not release, thinking that it's going to be a run, and then he ends up throwing up and running the ball, But there's always going to be that. So that's the first thing that I worry about. Is are we going to get caught by one of them plays, because they're going to run them.
All right, Pee-wee's pretty good, isn't he, Bama, big man? All right, well, look, is there before we move on, is there anything else you want to throw out, anything you think we ought to be looking for, anything that you haven't brought up before we go forward here?
I think the biggest factor of this game is going to be our ability to run the ball consistently. If you look at the Kentucky game last week, it's just like the game in Florida today. That was like Kentucky played lights out in the first half. And once we finally got our running game going toward the end of the first quarter and into the second quarter, once that got going, the whole entire offense just blossomed up. And that's what it takes for that to happen.
All right, well, Pee-wee, look, thank you so much for taking time on game day to call us. I know that as a fan that you're geared up for the game. We just appreciate your time today.
Well, I appreciate it. This is the first time in 30 years that I have not been to a regular season game in Bryant-Denny Stadium because of this COVID. 30 years.
Wow. All right. Well, I know you're looking forward to being able to go back.
Oh, yeah, I'm hoping, next season, is just like a regular season, more or less. And, we'll get to be, everybody will have the opportunity to go to the game. I had planned on going out to Dallas this year for the USC game and, in the 7 home games, but not being able to go to any of them now. So I'm like everybody else. I go to work and come home and pretty much stay here.
Well, Pee Wee, thanks again for your phone call today, and hope to talk to you again sometime soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you and all the crew in the background for all the things y'all do. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide, roll. Thank you, Pee Wee. Dadgummit. That was like we were a real show, wasn't it? That was like a real sports show. Yeah, well, I know, because I didn't bring much to it, but he was good. That was good. Thank you, Pee Wee. That was really outstanding analysis. And I think any future analysis we're going to get on this show is going to be a little alcohol infused, unfortunately. All right, now, there is we already had the degenerate gambling part. A lot of people, I've never participated in a drinking game because I never went to college. But Johnny Gwynn went to college, and Johnny Gwynn has come up with his own special Iron Bowl drinking game that he would like to present to us here. This is for the degenerates only that might be watching this. Johnny, do you want to come over here and go through your drinking game?
I got my own theme song.
Oh, your own theme music. There he is.
Yeah.
All right. So the Johnny Gwynn Iron Bowl drinking game.
Yes.
Take a drink if and when.
Mac Jones' 2 interceptions from last year are shown anytime.
All right, that will happen. We know
You'll
that.
see that a lot. Bo Nix's father, who played for Auburn, mentioned, which will be a lot. Sark, head coach experience is mentioned because no Saban, they're going to bring up University of Washington, USC. You will get that a lot. So
All right, let me interrupt the drinking game at this point just to note that these things might happen in the first 10 minutes, and people are going to be blasted. They're going to be, whatever the term is, they're going to be drunk by the time they get into the first 10, 15 minutes with this game.
Middle of second quarter would be probably pretty hammered.
All right, next up.
Either team makes a sack. Smitty makes a reception, which will probably be 6 to 8 today.
Okay.
So, Schwartz, the speedster for Auburn, when they mention Schwartz and how fast he is. So Schwartz and speed. Anytime a tight end gets the ball, one of my favorite positions on the field, love the tight end.
Well, that means you're going to be drinking constantly with this game.
That's the point.
But you want to remember the game.
Look, it's drink. You could sip it. This isn't shots. It's
all right.
drink.
Okay, good. All right. Well, now, you know what? That makes, by the way, I just noticed that is signed. Who signed your visor?
Major Ogilvy. That is my favorite Alabama player by far.
Wow. That is something. Okay. Back, take a drink if and when.
Gary Danielson says, throw the record books out with the Iron Bowl, which actually is not true. 92% of all the games, the team with the best record wins the game.
By the way, it always disappoints me when somebody I respect says throw the record books out. I hate that. That is the biggest cliche in all of Iron Bowl broadcasting.
You're supposed to be a professional. You've been doing it long enough. Don't bring that.
And a lot of respected people will say that. Bless their hearts. The next one.
Bo Nix scrambles for a first down, and I'm going to tell you, Alabama fans, you better get used to this. We have a very soft middle in our defense all season, and he is going to be making that 6 and 8-yard run like a champ all day today. Just letting you know.
That I don't need to know.
It's coming. Najee scores a touchdown. He's got the most touchdowns of any running back in the Southeast. So, yeah. Anyone brings up that damn 1 second, correct? That should have been the next one, which is a shot, because that's just too.
Well, you shouldn't have had that on the list.
Look, it's a tailgate for Iron Bowl, not Alabama. We have to go both sides. Any turnover, drink. Gary gets a video review wrong. He's been batting like 300 this year. He's terrible. So, sorry, I have a problem with Gary. If there's a live shot of Saban at his house, you just finished your damn drink, is what I'm saying, because that needs to be, and hopefully he gets better, get better coach.
All right, now, Johnny has elevated the drinking game to a more dangerous level.
This
is take a shot. If these things happen, take a shot. Now, I don't advocate this unless it's a shot of water or a soft
orange
drink.
juice. Good for you. Yeah, it's good. I would suggest this is a shot. So if there is a safety, which is very rare in a game, take a shot. Very rare.
One of my favorite plays, though, love a safety. Mm-hmm. Now, why is that funny? To love a safety.
It's not funny. It's just replay of the kick six from 2013. Now, if Auburn starts to lose, but it's close, they're going to show that thing at least 3 times in the fourth quarter.
I expect it to be part of the opening montage.
Oh, no, they're going to do that anyway. I'm just telling you, but late in the game when you're already a little hammered, this is going to put the exclamation point on the end. Replay of the Bama punt.
Right.
Look, I'm just saying, Alabama scores over 50.
Okay.
Shot. There's a pick six. Any team, you shot. A questionable ref call is made for Auburn. I'm sorry, the last freaking couple years, and we're not at Auburn right now, but when at Auburn, there seems to be some very gray area calls that tends to favor one side over the other.
The first Iron Bowl I went to was in Auburn, and there was a questionable dadgum call that helped Auburn win the game.
Look, Luke from Locked On Alabama podcast wrote a fantastic article about how he believes that Auburn's field is built over UFOs, chupacabras, and a Native American burial ground because all the weird stuff that happens there. So I do believe there's something to that conspiracy theory. And the last is, I was going to say if Saban throws his headset, but he's not going to be there, so I had to change it. If Gus loses his cool on the sidelines, take a shot. So, which I'll be happy because that means he's very frustrated. Which, I'm kind of looking at this on the camera right now. I kind of look like Gus, but dressed with Alabama stuff right now. Just notice that with the convertible and the vest. This is all Alabama. Yeah.
Can you imagine?
That's the game.
Now, and you mentioned Saban's not there, so he won't throw his headset. But can you imagine? I'm sure him having to stay home during that game is worse than any COVID symptom.
First game in 47 years. Mm-hmm. And there's a great article about his daughter bringing him today his lucky penny. So check that out online. It's very cool.
All right, very good. All right, now predictions. We are going to have more video here from Randy Kennedy.
Randy Kennedy.
Yes, sir. Dan, the sound man. This is Randy Kennedy from Sports Talk 99.5 FM.
So if we get something wrong on the show, it's also drink. So I'm going to be drinking a lot in this show. Maybe I should do my prediction.
Here we go.
All right.
Iron Bowl 2020, Alabama, a prohibitive favorite. Alabama's not only leading the SEC in scoring offense, but also leading the SEC in scoring defense now at 19 points a game. That's not the key number. The big number is Alabama every game scores 49 points a game, which is absolutely amazing. What that means is for Auburn to win at Bryant-Denny Stadium, it's going to have to be a shootout. There's not going to be any 20-17 Auburn win. To win this game, it's going to take a couple of turnovers. It's going to take a high-scoring shootout, maybe like 44-42, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think Alabama, it's too much this year, the number one team in the country. I think Alabama wins this game somewhere in the neighborhood of 48-24. Alabama rolls on into the playoff after winning this Iron Bowl.
All right, I like that prediction. That is an outstanding prediction.
Yep, that was solid.
Now, do we have another caller now, or do we wait until after this?
I have a 2 o'clock call coming in from a former Bama player that played under the Bears.
Oh, wow, okay. Well, then let's go to the phones. Hello, are you there, sir?
rolling, baby.
Hey, would you hang up on that guy? Dadgummit.
That was Mike Price.
You know, doing a show like this, of all the things, I've already heard all the Alabama fans bringing up unpleasant memories of the past,
It's
which was
part
terrible.
of our tapestry.
And then we have the It's Rolling Baby. That was the one thing that was not brought up.
That was brought to
Here
you by
before the
Arity's
show.
Angels, by the way.
All right, do we have our caller? All right, hello, caller. Hello.
Hello, you hear me?
Yes, is this Doug Faust?
In most states, yes.
All right.
Very good, Doug.
Doug.
Now, Doug, for people that don't remember you at Alabama, you played for Bear Bryant. Tell us when and what position.
I was there from 1969 to 1972, and I was a defensive lineman.
That's strong.
All right, defensive
Strong year.
lineman. You got to beat a lot of people up. All right,
Fun.
so Doug, what are your thoughts on this game? What do you think we'll see?
Well, what I'm looking at is, we're going to score, and we're going to score a lot. Now, the other thing is we've got to keep them from scoring. I think our defense will be where it's at, or has been the last couple of games. If we continue like we have been, then and it's going to depend a lot on how good a day Bo Nix has. I mean, he's had a kind of a sophomore slump, and anytime that we've gotten beat in the last few years where a quarterback, everything he throws gets caught, and so unless it's one of those kind of days, I think we're going to win and win big.
All right.
Now, Doug Faust, you played for one of the greatest football coaches of all time, Bear Bryant. Can you imagine what would it have been like if he was sick and couldn't be there at the game? Can you imagine what that would have been like as a player to not have Coach Bryant on the sideline?
I can't. I mean, he was in total control of the game. I don't even ever remember him wearing a headset. He did all the substitutions. He did everything. It's a little different game, a little different day and time.
Right, but as far as a psychological thing, do you think that that'll be a factor, the psychological effect of him not being there?
Actually, I think with Nick Saban not being there, we actually could get a little lift from it because
think so,
the guys
too.
will be, they'll be psyched up at the fact that the fact that he's not there and wanting to do well for him, and that's the same way it was with Coach Bryant. When you played for Coach Bryant, your biggest motivator was our motivation was to do well for him. And I know these guys have the same feeling about Coach Saban.
All right, well, Doug Faust, is there anything else you want to say about the game before we move on?
Score prediction.
Well, just to let you know, I'm not a big Auburn fan. Matter of fact,
I can't believe that.
We've got that in common.
I kind of hope I hope they never win another coin toss.
So do you have a score prediction?
Well, I'm going to say 48 to 20 is my prediction.
All
pretty
right,
good.
that's close to Randy Kennedy's. All right,
Yeah.
well, Doug Faust, thank you so
Thanks,
much
Doug.
for calling in.
Thank you, guys. Great show, Uncle Henry.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your support of the
And
show.
roll tide.
Roll, Tide, roll.
Doug Faust is also an executive producer of the show, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
He helps us every week, and it is much later than 1:30 when you live in Louisiana, if you know what I mean.
Yes, I do. Yes.
Oh, he's still on. Hey, look at that.
Thanks, Doug. Appreciate that.
He knows what I mean. He knows what I'm going for.
All right, now I don't always know what to watch in the game, so I did get a lot of help from the Container Boys on this list of Uncle Henry's what to watch in the game today. Number one, no Saban. That's a huge factor. So Will it hurt the team or fire up the team? You just heard Doug say it may give a lift.
I'm going to go with Doug and say I think it's going to be a lift.
Yes, win one for the coach.
That's right.
2, will Mac Jones get too greedy? Now, Johnny, did Saban say Mac got too greedy last year?
Well, last year it was, I remember it was only his third start.
Yeah.
Last game because Tua, started, and we had the awful, weird pick sixes last year. But last week against Kentucky, he had a decent game, but not the crazy numbers he has put up. But he threw up what Saban called the hope ball. You hope it was a good pass. Went up, the guy intercepted, and what he said was, Mac got a little too greedy. So Mac has to be poised today, not get too greedy, make those, like he's been doing all season, he needs to be confident and throw those for sure passes to those great wide receivers.
I hope that Mac is imagining Coach Saban watching the game at home, right over his shoulder. All right, the third thing here on the list, which Alabama defense shows up?
Not Ole Miss's game, please. Just letting you know, though, we have gotten better as every game has gone on. I think we are the highest, number one in the SEC with defensive, keeping the score to, I think, 19.3. And then our scoring defense is amazing.
You heard Randy Kennedy say they're leading the SEC.
But we have a very soft middle, guys. All season, Kentucky in the first quarter gashed us. So just look for that middle. And not on the edges, on the middle. We don't have that Mount Cody. We don't have that Deron Payne. We don't have that Q-Dog in that middle. And Dylan Moses seems just not quite right this year. He's like at 80% or something. So that middle, just be patient. But Bo Nix and those running backs are going to eat up the middle.
Fourth thing to look at is Sark versus Gus, offensive guru battle.
Man, look, the SEC is stacked with offensive powerhouses now. Gus and Sarkisian are great thinkers. I can't wait to see those two guys go head-to-head.
Fifth thing here is what rankles will Gus sneak into the game? We've already heard several people, including Pee Wee, talk about how Pee Wee's worried about the trick play.
Gus is very dangerous, and if he's desperate, boy, he will do some crazy stuff. Plus, we get that weird stuff. If we're not disciplined, we don't stay in our lanes, we don't do our things, we're going to get eat up. And number 2, remember that weird 4th down thing last year where we were on the field and they did that thing and we got the penalty and lost the ball? You have got to pay attention. Gus is he is a smart guy. You might not like him, but he is clever as hell.
Very clever on his contract.
Very clever. But Auburn's used to paying a lot of head coaches.
Next on the list, what freaky, heartbreaking thing will Auburn have happen in their favor? Now, this is something that was talked about before we went live on social media. The small number of people here with us today, they went through a long list of just terrible reminiscing. I hate thinking back on these things, but we all know that they have happened.
The only good thing is we are in T-Town. We are not in that cursed plot of land that it would be Pat Dye Field. So, yeah.
Who can own the running game? And we heard, I think Pee Wee also talked about this.
Got to control it. Now, if Auburn can run the ball a lot, and I can't believe we have become this at Alabama. I was so used to Alabama being the defensive team where I loved my defense on the field. Now we're a very heavy offensive team. If Auburn can make those 3rd and 7s, 3rd and 9s, keeping on the field, if they're running the ball, they're eating the clock, and we don't have the ball, that is going to really put a cramp in how we score and win the game.
Will Bama sorely miss Mr. Waddle?
I think we have not seen that person on the special team side. So I think we've dominated all 3 aspects of the game if Waddle was still in the game. And we don't have that now. Slade Bolden's actually playing a little hurt, but he's not that every time he touches the ball can take it to the house kind of guy. Devontae showed some stuff last week, but I don't like Devontae out there catching the dang, he can get hurt. I'm sorry, I just don't think that.
Well, Nick Saban said at one of his press conferences that Waddle is not the type of player that you can replace.
No.
You just cannot replace him. Auburn DBs versus Bama wide receivers. Let's hope that they can't keep up with Alabama's wide receivers.
Auburn has just real quick. Auburn has a not quite as strong on the front as they've been in years, and they're actually their secondary is their strength. Can we figure out ways to create opportunities for us with that?
Well, Alabama score above 35. A lot of people that have called this show and did the videos think they can.
Well, we're averaging 49 yards a game. Randy Kennedy said that. So over 35 is very important because look at the scores that Auburn has done, very much below that. But the next one coming up will Auburn hold Bama under 30? Auburn is the only SEC team defense to hold any team below all their games under 30 points. We would have been that as well, but we had that terrible Ole Miss game. And like I said, we don't want that defense showing up today or we're going to have a very long day.
And will the Container Boys stay sober long enough to make it to the post-game call-in show? Now, yes, we are going to be doing a show after the game. So you watch the Iron Bowl, and if you are responsible and you've paced yourself or you're not drinking, then please join us again wherever you're finding this. We would love to take your live phone calls after the game. And when are we going to start after? When Alabama wins, they'll go over and briefly talk to Saban after
Sark.
the game, or Sark.
Yes.
Will we immediately start right after the Sark interview?
I am thinking that right after the CBS contracted conversation with the coach and probably the MVP,
right.
we will go live.
All right, so that's when we'll go live. We would love to hear your phone calls.
Yes.
As long as you don't attack my family or do any It's Rolling Babies.
A part of me kind of wants our team to lose.
What? Why now? Come on.
Well,
Stop drinking now. Stop drinking now. Look at this. He's half a drink in. What's wrong with you?
Look.
Why would you want our team to lose?
Our team to win, Alabama. But since we are making entertainment, I would love to see you so angry for about 45 minutes that you'd lose your mind and have to get through that show. I'm just saying I would.
How about I lose my mind now? How about I lose my mind now, Johnny?
Well,
we have been working together for months, and you've never, ever torpedoed me in the middle of a show like this. I hope our team loses for entertainment value.
I think we'd have more viewers if they saw a madman.
It's dadgummit. This is what's wrong with America. We want as many likes as we can get. We want as many views as we can get. And we will prostitute ourselves out in any way possible to get as many likes and views as possible. Dadgummit, no. Okay. I want Alabama. I want it to be so much a smackdown that people stop watching in the third quarter. That's what I want. I want it 49-0 at the half. That's what I want.
Look, I want joyless murder ball too. I really do. And I've only had that 1 year where it was 49-0 to really get that just curb stomping Alabama win. So all I'm saying is, if we happen to falter, which is very rare, I do think there's a silver lining, and we'd have a great show afterwards. So watch what happens afterwards.
I feel like I don't even know you anymore.
I'm taking a lot of tranquilizers today. It's a very scary day for me.
This would like being married to somebody for 10 years, and then you find out they've got a second family.
Are you sure it's not Gus up there?
If I had his contract, I would be Gus.
What would Major Ogilvy think? You're wearing Major Ogilvy's hat. All right.
Okay.
We're going to move on here.
It's an Iron Bowl show, people, not an Alabama show.
Stop it. The post-game show after Alabama's victory is presented by Callahan's.
Yeah, Callahan's.
They present our musical guest. We don't have a musical guest. We instead will have the phone calls of joy after the Alabama victory. This will be presented by Callahan's. We're very proud to be associated with them and proud that they're in Mobile. Now, do we want to check Twitter?
It's boring right now. No one's saying anything interesting. I went and looked right before I came on. It's not saying much, so we can skip this segment.
All right, now more predictions to be made.
Dan says we have 2 calls.
Oh, we do. We're going to go to phones. All right, let's go to
Let's do phones and then we'll do the video.
All right. Hello, caller. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Norman.
Roll
Norman.
Tide.
Roll Tide, roll, Norman.
Roll Tide. I agree with you with your previous callers on the pick, the Alabama fella, and I think Johnny, he's kind of coming and going. Some of the stuff he says makes sense, but then some of it I think he's already drinking too much. But I think Alabama is going to win this one pretty big. You know, they got the boys. I think he's right. The boys are going to be fired up. Wanting to win one for the GOAT, for Coach Saban. They're going to want to win that, and I think you're right. It may not be 49-0 at halftime. It's probably going to be about 35-7, and I think the final score is probably going to be about probably 49-14.
Goodness.
I love that.
They're going to win. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide, Norman. Thank you, Norman.
35-7 in the first half.
That would be I hope Norman is psychic today. All right, do we have another caller? Hello, caller.
Roll Tide up.
Roll
Chris.
Tide, roll. 63-year-old Chris
Johnny
from
Gwynn.
Loxley.
Johnny Gwynn, I sat here and thought of 1,000 different things to come back at you with that ridiculous statement you made a few moments ago, but I'm just going to let sleeping dogs lie.
I love you too, Chris.
Man, I'm going to pretend. I'm going to pretend that never happened, and I'm going to give you some of my keys to victory. Okay.
Thank
First
you.
of all, watch for the tight end for Auburn today. Morris loves throwing to the tight end, and even though we beat the crap out of Arkansas both times he was there, he effectively threw to the tight end against us. And Auburn's got a tight end that runs like a gazelle, and he's about 6'5" and weighs 300 pounds. It's very difficult to tackle.
Okay.
Also, our punting game is going to be very important, and it's been shaky at best. I disagree with you on Devontae Smith. I'd put him back there because I think he's going to break one this week.
It's not that I
I
don't.
can't give him.
Chris, I know he can do it. I just don't like the idea of him back there. We've had some weird stuff happen on special teams with injuries.
Yeah, but you can't be afraid. Listen,
You're right. Good point.
You can't be afraid of losing. You've got to be confident of winning, Johnny.
I don't know. I'm confident of winning.
I think.
But, I mean, look.
Well, is that why you dressed up like Gus today?
But look what I'm wearing. It's Alabama stuff. I'm wearing Alabama things.
Hey, to the internet viewer, they don't see it unless the camera does a close-up. You look like Gus Malzahn with that outfit on.
Look,
I'm sorry, brother.
I am the balance of the show. That's all. That's what I'm just letting you. I'm a huge Alabama fan.
Did you lose part of your mind when Bridget trimmed your locks?
Part of my brain went with that hair, I'm guessing, yes. Yeah.
Like Samson and Delilah, huh? Okay. Well, here's to a great victory that I'm hoping and praying for. And regardless, I'll see you after the game, brother. Roll Tide, roll.
Roll Tide. Hey, wait. What's your score prediction?
Oh, I hate giving predictions. I'm going to go 37-26, Alabama.
Whoa,
I think
that's
Auburn
close.
score points.
All right.
Their offense rolling.
That's close to me. I'm much closer to Chris than I am to everybody else.
63-year-old
All right.
Chris.
Roll
Thank
Tide,
you.
gentlemen, roll.
Roll Tide, roll. Very good. All right, now we're going to, we've got a last bit of video from iHeartRadio. Mary Booth and Ariel from iHeartRadio, both past guests of this show.
Do video first and then do call. Here we go. So I guess I have to drink because we had a gaffe.
Oh, we did?
Well, it's a gap. I mean, look, I'm still on the thing, but
Well, Dan's having to run everything.
Dan needs to be an octopus back. There we go.
So you want to know my Iron Bowl prediction, right? Okay, first of all, I am dressed wrong to make this prediction because I'm an Auburn fan. This was in my closet. I don't know how I got crimson in my closet, but my prediction for the Iron Bowl is there will be fumbles, there will be interceptions, there will be touchdowns, and there will be dip, and there will be cussing, and there will be I don't know. I would love for Auburn to win, but I'm not making a prediction on the actual score.
Okay, so I always want to root for the underdog and feel like Auburn could pull this off again. Remember that 1 second? But let's be honest, Bama's gonna win this one.
All right. That was wonderful to the point from Ariel.
So she mentioned the 1 second thing, so I have to. It's already started for me to drink.
Johnny, this is gone. We're going to have to do a show hours from now, so be careful on that.
I have to still make graphics for the next show. So.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, I do.
Okay.
I can multitask.
All right. Do we have time to take a few calls?
Look, it's 2:20. We can go up till CBS does not kick the ball off at 2:30. They kick off about 2:36 or something.
Okay.
So what? What? It's Gary Danielson talking about some nonsense over there. Who cares?
All right. So if those watching at home, if you would like to give us a call now to make a prediction, the phone lines are open if you would like to make a prediction, or if you'd like to admonish Johnny on his Malzahn fashion, you can give us the phone call. We'll take it.
Look, if I took off this vest, I would look like, which is not a good thing, I'd look like one of those guys that dances at Texas A&M.
Okay,
You know what I'm
no, we
talking
don't
about?
want that. All right, do we have a call? All right, we've got a caller. Let's go to the phones. Hello.
Uncle Henry.
Yes.
Uncle Henry.
Yes.
LD.
LD.
I got a prediction.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
You're eating.
What?
Your fat mama will never stop eating.
Hang up on him. Hey, guess what? Mad trucker, LD, mad trucker, guess what? My mama was diagnosed with COVID the day before Thanksgiving. You're not only attacking a normal-sized, extreme elderly woman, but you attacked a woman that is fighting for her life. Shame on you for attacking somebody stricken with COVID who happens to be regular-sized. I hope that, I don't want to say what I hope for you because you've donated to the show.
Yes. He's the executive producer.
Yes, just because you donate doesn't mean you get to attack my mother when she's got COVID. All right, do we have any other calls? All right.
Okay, so look, we've got Bama Big Man.
Wait, before we get to Bama Big Man, we want to thank our hosts that let us do the show here, the Container Yard. The Container Yard, downtown office space and co-working starting at $3.99 a day. No exaggeration. Everybody that I've brought in here is impressed with this place. They just think it's one of the neatest places to be. Where creativity and commerce meets, containeryardworks.com. Wonderful, wonderful place in downtown Mobile to do your work. Now, we don't have a microphone set up for Bama Big Man. Do we want...
I can get a microphone.
Do we want Bama Big Man to give his prediction?
Come on, Bama Big Man. Come on. Come
Oh, you're going to get him on set?
Okay, hold on. He doesn't want to go on set, but he wants to talk.
He doesn't want to go on set. All right, well, then we'll look at me.
Uncle Henry, how you doing, sir?
Hey, Bama Big Man. Off the set.
I'm not good at predictions, but I'm thinking Bama 42, Auburn 17.
All right.
All right. Very nice.
Them 42 is going to come late, though. It'll be close, but eventually they'll pull away 42.
All right.
17.
Now, what about
MVP? Who's your MVP?
Devontae Smith.
Oh, all right. Okay. Now, Brent Amaker, the local artist and float designer, does Brent want to give a prediction also?
Hold on. Does Miss Bama Big Man want to make a prediction?
After
You go ahead and get over
Mrs. Bama Big Man, come on screen.
56-14.
I like her. I like her.
I like that. I think both of those are pretty close. I'm thinking Bama 45-14. They'll pull away in the second half. Roll Tide.
Oh, by the way, the Brent Amaker elephant, isn't that a gorgeous dadgum thing?
Roll Tide.
And the Alabama flag and mini pom-poms. There's half the set is from Amaker's house.
Bling. Gotta have it. Gotta have the mojo. Roll Tide.
And the what?
Richie Shearer, we have the Auburn.
Richie Shearer have the Auburn
We don't
stuff.
need to know about the Auburn stuff. But thank you, Brent, for bringing
You're
up. That's a
welcome. Roll
beautiful
Tide.
thing. Roll Tide, roll. Now, is Lady Wellborn going to give a
Come on. Hey, do you know my mother and my wife have on the same shirt? Come on. We've got about 4 minutes. No, we have our set's very small, so.
I always wanted to be on TV and internet, so hey, thanks guys. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide?
Roll Tide. So what's the score going to be? The final score?
Play the magic music over there. It's going to be 54-26.
You and Mrs. Bama Big Man, I love the way you both think. Yes. And
I'm going to
Stacy?
go 49-35.
I like the way you think too.
Are we betting quietly on this with poker chips? Next time.
Okay.
Uncle Henry, it's clean. Poker chips are free.
What are you talking about?
Okay. All right. I'm not into that whole degenerate. We didn't even play bingo when I was a kid.
Oh, I'm sorry. So obviously you weren't Catholic.
No, ma'am.
Okay. That's how I learned my numbers and my letters.
My mother's on microphone probation. We have to get her off the thing.
All right.
Go now.
All right.
Thank you,
There you go.
Mom.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
a lot of the Alabama stuff came from the Gwynn household as well. So lots
Yes,
of stuff.
indeed. All right. So, and I don't believe do we have a call? All right. So we don't have a call.
I have a prediction.
Wait, okay. You want to make your prediction?
I predict it will be final score of 42-24. I'm with Bama Big Man. We score a lot late. But I'm telling you, that first half, we have to weather the storm because they come out always very, very strong against us. I do believe Auburn plays this game harder than we do. They really are scrappy, and I'm not kidding you guys. I will get so frustrated. I know I was playing everything would be okay, I'm a huge Alabama fan. I'm going to go crazy watching them destroy our middle on the run game and the quarterback sneaks. Watch what's going to happen.
We've heard a lot about the middle today.
And it's like a donut.
All right. Now, we want to remind you again.
It's got a
We
big
want to
hole in the
remind
middle.
you again that the show that we do after the game, we're going to be back live after the game. We will have the Lanyap mystery box.
More predictions too on the post game.
Predictions of what?
The mystery box. What's in the mystery box?
Okay, and that is sponsored by Lanyap, and
Thank
we
you,
appreciate
Lanyap.
Lanyap and their sponsorship. They like the show, or at least Rob does. So that post-game call-in show right after the game, right after they interview Sark and Mac Jones, then you will watch us and call in and express your thoughts, hopes, dreams, and wishes, all your reminiscing about the game. We're looking forward to that very, very much. And that show later will be presented by Callahan's, and we thank you so much to Callahan's. All right, so
they're about to start up.
All right, so look, I'm holding out all hope that Alabama scores at least 49.
Okay.
During this game. So my prediction is Alabama 49. I really have no idea what Auburn will be able to do.
But less.
I'm hoping that it's under 21.
Okay.
49-21.
I have a question for you, though. Who will be the MVP?
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones will be MVP. Remember, We'd like to keep doing this show in 2021. The only way we'll do it is with donations. So go to Venmo.com. Look for Deep Fried Live on Venmo.com. Look for Deep Fried Live on PayPal. Let us now end the pregame tailgate show. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you after the game. Roll, Tide, roll! Roll, Tide, roll!